Hi everyone, it's TanyaMFK here with your 52 Weeks of Momentum lesson recap. This is week 17. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Tanya Marie Figueres-Kreisinger, more easily known as TanyaMFK. I am a member of Benjamin Hardy's 52 Weeks of Momentum course, and I come here every week to just share what I'm learning, my insights, and what I'm going through. If for nothing else, just to reinforce to myself what I'm learning, but also so you can grab a piece of momentum along the way. This is in no way a substitute for the actual course. The most obvious reason, I'm not Benjamin Hardy. We also have a plethora of tools, a great, huge supportive group, and lots of things that I can't offer you. But what I can offer is to share what I'm learning and some of the great tools, tactics, and lessons that are coming through in this course, and it's super awesome. So stick around and learn a little bit. We are, like I said, in week 17. And really, this particular lesson is kind of more about regrouping ourselves. Now, the last 4 weeks, we went really big. Really big. We've already had our year goals, which we're all working on. We've already had morning routines, weekly tracking, all kinds of other stuff that we've been working on. But this month, we started looking at bucket list goals, right? Those big long-term goals that seem so far away. We started looking at those, and that was mind-opening enough. But then we stopped and we were challenged to look at, well, what one of those could you get done maybe in the next 90 days? 60 days, 30 days. You're like, holy crap, I don't know, I never thought about that. So that was a big challenge. And then if that wasn't enough, then we looked at sprint goals. And that was something to choose to accomplish just in the last 4 weeks. Just whatever it was, didn't even have to be in the goal thing. It's just be something you're like, you know what, maybe something you had been working on for a while, maybe something you've been putting off and go, I'm just gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done. Now, in these 4 weeks, I'm going to get it done. So we had all of this stuff going on, and it was fast. It was momentum, right? It was momentum. And we were reading, and we were doing so much, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Whether or not you hit your goals, it really was still awesome. And the reason for that was, it was the process, right? We started to learn that it wasn't perfection. There were a lot of people who didn't meet their goals. There were a lot of people who were, just, it was crazy. It was chaos for a lot of people. Let's just be honest. It was nuts for a big chunk of our group. But what switched was the mindset. What switched was the way that we looked at goals. I would say one of the first things that really was switched in that was just the ability or the willingness to take more on, to go, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, I could do more. I could do that. Where a couple months ago, before you started this program, you might have been like, there's no way. That's just, it's not happening. I don't have time, right? I don't have time. There's no way I could do that. Like, oh, I got so much other stuff. But we've had to look at our time so much. We've had to pay attention to how we're spending it. We've had to pay attention to where it's going, how much of it is spent in things we like or we don't like. We've really been in the thick of ourselves, paying attention to ourselves, every little thing. And so this mind shift that we've come to go, all right, okay, sure, why not? I can take another thing on. That mindset alone is a huge accomplishment. And really, being able to look at the goals and say, can I do this? Or realizing that it's not realistic. That is also something to be aware of. So many times we do set unrealistic goals and we don't really take the time to think twice about it. And I think all of these different things we're noticing, we're doing now. All of these lessons and tips and tools and activities and assignments that we've been going through have really all been pushing us towards the mindset, because it's not the perfection, it's the process, right? I think I said it before, it's not the perfection, it is the process. So be proud of yourself. If you've been tagging along for this long, if you've been sticking in there, if you've been paying attention, if you've been nothing else, just watching the videos and sticking with some sort of, positivity and great lessons in your head, good job. Like, you've come a long way. That is awesome. So, acknowledge that, know that, like, appreciate what you're doing. And once you've done all of that goodness, then what I had to do, and thankfully we are being encouraged to do as well, is take a deep breath. I do that with my 2-year-old all the time. We take a deep breath, right? And take a moment to regroup, redefine, recalculate, and recover. I don't know about you, but I sorely, sorely needed this. Because I kept up momentum. I felt a little crazy and scattered. I was doing all the things. As I mentioned in the last video, we just moved from 6 months in Southeast Asia, coming back to Europe. There's been a lot of stuff going on. And taking that deep breath to regroup, kind of, get settled back in at our home for now and go, what do I have going on? What was going on? What do I have coming up? What is it that I wanted again? What are all of those things? And really for me, I've mentioned before, I'm a big pen, and paper person. So I write it all down. I write it all down. I look at this big, crazy, beautiful mind list. And I'm just going, all right, here it is. Here's all of it. Are my goals still the same? Do I still want these things? Is this still the morning routine that I want? Are these still the things I want to track? And for me, I actually did make a lot of changes. I didn't think I would. I really liked the items I had on my morning routine. And for me, in case you're curious, I have things like obviously getting up at 5 a.m., doing meditations, journaling, 5 minutes of yoga. I do my morning reading. I'm trying to think of all the things I do. I had it all listed out there, and I didn't take off too many. And if anything, I rearranged when they were done. I have like a morning routine. After I have some afternoon stuff, and I have some evening stuff. So it kind of mixed up where it was, changed some of the time frames a little, and I did remove some. Now I'm still doing them, but I'm not tracking them. I'm not making them like a have to. I want them to be optional. So again, the point of it is I regrouped and then I redefined. So now I'm in the redefining stage. Now I'm looking at it and going, okay, I can see everything. I regrouped everything. What is it? Do I want it? And I looked at it. And I came to the conclusion that I wanted some things to change. My goals had shifted a little, just as Benjamin Hardy said they would. As we grow, our goals are going to grow too. Our goals are going to change and adapt as we change and adapt. So that's what they did. Surprise, right? So after I did all this, then I could recalculate when these things were happening. Some of my goals did remain the same, but the time frame changes. So I had to come back and go, here I am. This is where I'm at. This is what I actually want. Now, how again do I make it happen? So really, in a lot of ways, I was revisiting what we did in that first month and that New Year's resolution, right? It's easy then. We start then. But it's so important for us to come back to it. It's so important for us to revisit it and not set it as like, that's what it is. It's set and it's got to go. Because we are changing. So we do need to look at these things as we change, as our world changes, our life changes. Everything is in a constant flux of change, right? So I came back to those. I'm looking at those and I'm recalculating them, and I changed my calendar. It felt so good. It felt so good. I didn't have this sense of being behind. I didn't feel anymore like I was scattered. Even though, I'll be honest, if I could turn the camera and show you that there's still suitcases around here. But mentally, I'm unpacked. Mentally, I'm unpacked, and it's organized, and all my stuff is put where it's supposed to be. In my head, at least the important stuff, right? Which is where I'm headed, what my goals are, what I want. And this is it was so important. And I'm so thankful that this was kind of what we were reminded to do, and to, look back and see where you've been for the last couple months, evaluate it, look at it. I think there's going to be some cool worksheets coming up that will really dive into that more. But really, a lot of it is about looking back, reflecting, and then letting go of it. Because it's done, it's past, and now we need to see where we are now and move forward from that. And when we do that, we can recover, right? That was our other one, recover. Just totally disconnect, 100% guilt-free chilling, because it all has a place. You know where you're headed, you know where you're going. And then you can, when it's time to disconnect and recover, you can honestly do that. Because when your next work session is, when your next, goals need to be worked on, whatever that is. So it's so important, as you talked about before too, is to recover. So amazing process. I highly, highly recommend you check it out. That was regroup, redefine, recalculate, and recover. And I think this is just the perfect time to do that. We have April, May, June, all this is depending on what you got going on in life. But I feel like this is kind of, I don't want to say a lull, because it doesn't feel slow to me at all, but in terms of all the stuff that affects everyone, which tends to be the holidays and like the changing of the season, all that stuff's happening to happen to everyone besides our individual issues. And it feels like this is kind of like this little hammock time, and then just like starts going like, oh, crazier and crazier, and then it gets nuts by the end of the year. Right? Just inevitably seems that way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just crazy all the time. But I think this is a really, in any case, I think this is a great time for us to regroup and see where we've been, where we've gone, and where we're headed. Right? So Benjamin Hardy also said that we have some really neat new stuff coming up. So I'll be excited to share any new insights or tools that we gain from whatever that is. So stay tuned for that. And really, that's it. That's it. Kind of an easy one, right? So if you like this, awesome, then stick around and definitely click that subscribe button, and you'll be notified when our next lesson comes up. And if you want to learn how to adapt this type of stuff to your entrepreneurial ventures and careers, then definitely follow me at TanyaMFK on Instagram or Facebook. That's all for now. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.